So last night I watched The Martian, Matt Damon movie from like 2015, where he has to survive on Mars, being the only person left on Mars, trying to survive, right? And it occurred to me this morning that there's so many games that include space that aren't good, but the media of space usually is good. You have Star Wars, you have Star Trek, you have Cowboy Bebop, you have Interstellar, you have all of these big and like relatively very very well rated movies that deal with space, but the for some reason video games can't capitalize on space. And it's this weird thing because there are good space games like The Outer Wilds. That's a game that I just haven't been able to finish yet. People talk about The Outer Wilds like it's the greatest game they've ever played, and they will never find another game that compares. I haven't beat it yet, so I don't know what the ending's like, but it's one of the few games that I've never heard of being spoiled. People have never had the chance to spoil it, and it's so interesting that like it's held to such high regards when you have games like Starfield. I mean, you have the Kerbal Space Program. First one people like, second one people hate, for where very good reason. But like I feel like anytime I think of a space game, it's not fun because the whole aspect of space game like is usually it's because most space games would be an RPG. And when you have the ability to just fly away and not have to deal with any problems in the game, I mean, it kind of ruins the sense of urgency on things, right? Most games don't involve space, so there's no like you have to deal with the problems in the game because you can't just leave, you can't just run away. But also at the same time, space games also have this mechanic that almost no other game has to deal with, which is, generated planets. They make these planets that you can just go to and experience, but the problem is that they're just generating them, and so there's nothing to them. They just have the plant life. They might have a few creatures there, but there's not really any reason to go there. That was kind of what sucked about No Man's Sky a lot. Is I would go and explore these worlds, but it would just be the same generated structures. Go there, grab something, and then leave, and that was it. Um, and and so it was just the same thing over, repetitive thing over and over, and so it wasn't fun. Starfield, kind of the same way. You could go out, explore all these things, but there wasn't much to them unless there was an actual quest regarding that planet. But even then, it's just a small area of the planet. You can't just go out and fully explore the planet. So that was kind of boring. Space is just so big that you have to like fully flesh out everything if you really wanted to make it interesting. And you can't do that. You can't do that with a video game because otherwise it's never being made. I know there's that one video game that has been, in what development for like 20 years that they've made like $1 billion or something off it. I can't remember what the name of it is. But they promise all these things, but like that's the type of game that would have to have everything to it. But you can't do that without something like AI. You're never going to be able to do something crazy like that. But even then, I don't want AI in my freaking video games. So it it's not going to be fun. Like space, it's the one thing that sucks about space games is that they will never be perfect because there's just infinity. You'll never be able to capitalize on it. You'll never be able to do anything with it. And it sucks because anytime I watch a really good movie like Interstellar, The Martian, I know there's another one that I was just thinking of earlier, but I can't think of it now. But anytime I watch those, I'm like, oh yeah, let's finally go back and beat Starfield, the game I spent $300 on getting the ultra premium edition or whatever with the watch. Never beat the game, never beat it. And there's also other reasons why I didn't beat it. As soon as I heard there was a new game plus, completely killed any interest I had in that game. Because what's the point of doing everything that I've already done just to restart all over again? Like it kind of kills all the drive of everything that I've been working on currently, just for it to restart. And so that sucks. But I mean, it's just I just wish there was a really really well made space game that you could do all those things. Outer Wilds obviously is the exception. No Man's Sky has been building on it for the last decade, so they're slowly adding more and more things. So it is, that one's promising. I mean, every time I got on there, they're always doing something new, so that's cool. I mean, Starfield has that mod which turns it into Star Wars. That's interesting, but I don't want like 100+ gigabytes on my computer just to play a Star Wars. When honestly, I'm not big into Star Wars, so it would kind of bring me out of it. That for some reason that I just saw that today, and I just wanted to talk about it because it sucks. It sucks. It's like every other medium usually has things that are done pretty well. I mean, you have Red Dead, great in a cowboy sim, and there's a lot of cowboy media at the same time. First thing I thought of was Westworld, but then again, that's not fully cowboy sim, or cowboy genre. But I mean, everything has their own medium that has a great translation to video games as well. Medieval, I mean, you can also just think of just Game of Thrones in general, just in that era. Great, great television show, highly contested ending. But at the same time, there's so many things that like are in that area of like knight and armor, that work well. Elden Ring is the first thing I thought of, but also if it's true that Rockstar's working on a medieval game, that will probably change, the shakeup of medieval games, and they'll probably be damn near the top if they do anything well, like they do with Red Dead, and I guess Grand Theft Auto as well. But not big into Grand Theft story modes. But yeah, I mean, space. I wish space had a better medium of video games. They do everything else well in television, in movies, and probably even books as well, even though I'm not big into reading books. But it's just video games they can't get right. And it's understandable. I mean, I fully understand, because you can't, it's such a big task to bring something to life like that, because anything else, a scripted story, follow the path, that's it. Video games, I mean, you finish the tutorial and it's supposed to be you do whatever you want. And Outer Wilds does that, and it does it really well. But also, the one gripe I have on Outer Wilds is that I really have no sense of direction. It's like, there's so much to do and nothing to do at the same time, it feels like. And I beat it once, or I didn't beat it once, but I got very far in it once, and it was over a year later. I come back to it, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to restart. And it was like, oh no, I got to do all the stuff I already did before. And that took forever, right? So, I don't know, it's daunting. I'll eventually beat it, but man, space games, just, I wish they were better. I wish they were better. But yeah, that's it. See ya.